welcome along to this Parish Online Insights session. My name's Chris Muse. I'm the Managing Director of our company, and we've also got Andy Skellen on the session today, who you might be familiar with through support or at some of our events. Today we're going to be covering our website service. So this is something that we've introduced in the last few years, and this will be an introduction and exploring the administration of the websites. And we'll also have a bit of a Q&A at the end. So we're going to try and do this in an hour. So I reckon it'll be about sort of 40 minutes, 45 minutes or so of me presenting, and then we'll go into Q&A. It's not all death by PowerPoint, so don't worry. I have a handful of slides, but then we'll go into the actual content. So for the agenda, we've got a bit of an introduction of the service itself and how it differs to other sites and services out there. And then we'll go straight into the practical of looking at adding content into the website. So if you're an existing subscriber, then this will be good to just give you a bit of a refresher on how to do things, and you might pick up some new tips and tricks. And if you are considering our service or are just looking at the market at the moment, hopefully this will give you some confidence in how our system works and what you will get as part of an admin panel for updating your potential new future website. We'll also go into some of the sort of things you can and can't do in our service, just to kind of set your expectations for it, because it is a little bit different to other website services. And then, yes, we'll go into a Q&A afterwards. So you may be aware of us for our mapping software. So just as an overview, Parish Online has a handful of services now. We have our mapping software, which we've had for 15 years or so, and we've got over 2,500 subscribers to it. So it's become really popular and a de facto tool for asset management, neighbourhood plans, looking at planning applications, boundary issues, all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to cover that today. We will do another insight session at some point, and we also have other training providers who do mapping training. We've got our website and email service, so we're covering just the website portion of this today. If you're interested in our email service, we actually did an insight session last month, which we recorded. That's available on our YouTube channel and on our knowledge base. So you can skip through all the bits where I'm umming and ahhing and get to the good stuff quickly. Hopefully not too many ums today. So we'll cover that. And we also have most recently a Cloud Office solution. So this is a service that helps you have like the equivalent to Word, Excel, PowerPoint applications, but cloud-based and cloud storage. So this is about helping your parish move all of your content from potentially risky locations like someone's iPad or your computer that you can start to hear the fan going and you know it's going to die soon. This is where it can really help you. But again, we're not going to cover that. We will do this in another session soon, but not today. Okay, so about our parish website service, we've got, I'm just going to mute some people with that. We launched it in September 2022, and we've now got over 230 subscribers to date. I think it's 238 as of when I wrote this and now what it is. So it's become really popular. As you can see, there's some interesting clusters on the map of where we've got our website customers. I must say that word of mouth is the key thing for people subscribing to these services, and that's really great because we know that people are then advocating what we're doing and like what we're doing, and they're telling their peers and their neighbouring clerks and councillors. So that's fantastic to see. And we launched this service not as a profiteering exercise. We are a not-for-profit, but we really wanted to help councils with getting a better online presence. We just appreciate that parish councils have IT kind of cobbled together as best they can, and we wanted to help bring that into the 21st century in some cases. Now, that's not to say that you are all like that, but there's a huge area of the parish sector which has been informally put together, and that's completely understandable with the time constraints and the budget constraints. So we're here to help with that. We can get really nerdy and get all the technology together and put it on a plate for you in a nice, easy to use way. So we can help you with getting that better presence online. It helps with complying with the practitioner's guide, and especially when it comes around to audits where it's now strongly recommended to have a gov.uk domain name. And so as part of that, we give you that gov.uk domain name. We're a registrar, we're on the CDDO approved registrars list, and we bundle that into your website package. So we don't have any customers of our website service that are not on gov.uk. We bundle it in. We make the website service easier to manage, and that's what we're going to cover through today. So hopefully I can persuade you that this is an easy website to update content for. And behind the scenes, we are continuously updating the security, the infrastructure, the structure of the site, and we'll come on to that a bit later. So that's what the service is really there for. Our package includes the website itself, the free gov.uk domain, which I mentioned, and email for up to 20 mailboxes. So if you are looking for a quote and we give you that quote, it's going to include those three things. So you're going to get email bundled in. That's certainly worth looking at when you are getting quotes together, because a lot of other service providers look at these things separately. So they provide just the website or just the email or just the good domain. We've put everything together so we can manage it all for you and make it really easy. And we also include migration from your old website. So we appreciate that it is a massive pain in the bum to change a website because you've put all of the content into one of them already. So we do that transfer over to your new one, and we do that as part of the service. So we don't charge extra for that, which is often an added extra. Our support is also included. So we have unlimited email support, and we have a knowledge base and videos and webinars like this. And for a limited time only, because I know that this money is running out, the budget is quickly running out from the CDDO, where they are offering parish councils £100 off your first year of subscription if you switch to a gov.uk domain. So the vast majority of our customers who use our service are coming from an org.uk or something like that to a gov.uk. So we can go to the CDDO and say, hi, can I have £100 please? I get that from them and I take it off your first year's bill. So that's really good. That's a kind of an incentive for switching to gov.uk, like greasing the wheels a bit. It is a limited offer. It seems like the funding will run out in the next 6 months or so. So it feels a bit pressury, doesn't it, to do that? Get your £100 off. You know, consider the service as is and the subscription as is without that £100 off, but it's a little Brucey bonus there. And features of our service. So it is hosted on 100% green UK-based infrastructure. That's very important to us. It is compliant with the Web Accessibility Guideline standards, the latest one being the October 24 update for the 2.2 AA compliance rather than 2.1. It's a minor thing, it's a minor upgrade, but it's important for making sure that any of your residents can access the content on your website easily. We include the encryption and SSL certificates, as they're called, and that means that you get that kind of end-to-end encryption from the resident looking at your website to the website itself. And again, that's just bundled in. We guarantee a 99.9% uptime. Servers do break, they do go down, and we offer this level of uptime. In reality, it's pretty much 100%. We haven't had any substantial downtime since we've started. And what we do as part of the service, when we create your gov.uk domain and your website and your email, we register you with the National Cyber Security Centre. Now, that puts your domain on their radar, essentially. NCSC is the kind of public-facing view of GCHQ. They do a lot of things that we probably won't go into for this, but it means that you have extra levels of protection as a gov.uk user and as a tier of government. They really want to protect you. So we get guidance from them, we get critiqued by them as well, and we get given standards as they go. So it's a really good thing to be part of. And this is something that is not available through any other top level domain. Okay, so just a quick point on pricing. I won't labour this isn't a sales pitch, but typically when you go and order a website, a supplier may charge you a large amount in year one and then a very small amount in the following years. This isn't the concept that we take. We charge a fixed annual subscription every year. Now, the reason why we do that is we don't want to charge you lots for designing and building a new website, then charge you a small amount ongoing, and as your site goes through the years, it gets older and older and staler, and that's because your supplier hasn't invested in updating it because they're not being paid to. You're just paying for the hosting, for keeping the site alive, not for maintaining it. So hopefully, in most cases, we'll actually be cheaper than this little grey block, but our concept is that we have the maintenance and updates and support built into our subscription package so that your site will not go out of date. We're constantly applying updates to it. So it just makes us a little bit different there. So we are constantly improving this service. Now I say into my presentations, it's so you never leave us. Slightly daunting, but actually, changing a website is a pain. And if we can provide a good service that means you don't have to, then that's great. We're providing value for the sector. So it differs in terms of the subscription, so that no upfront capital payments, and we are priced based on population as well. So this is very similar to our mapping software where we're grading everyone gets the same service, but the larger councils pay a bit more, the smaller councils pay a bit less, and that makes it as affordable as we can for all sizes of parishes. So whether you're a town council or whether you're a very, very small parish council or even a parish meeting, of which we have some using our service, then this is for you. And yeah, typical starting price is the lower end is going to be around £300 a year. We are a not-for-profit, so we have our CIC, which our parish line products are now sitting within, and this means that any subscription revenue you give us, we could take as profit, but we get taxed on it, so we reinvest it back into the product. So that includes updating the service itself, investing in events and support and webinars and anything we can to help the sector. So we have quite a strong social value angle to our services now. And we work very closely with the county associations and SLCC branches. So if you're in an area where your county association has got an agreement with us, that gives you 30% off the discount off your annual subscription every year. So it's a benefit of being a county association member, and you get a real terms monetary discount from us. And we're also a little bit different in terms of the way we've gone about building these websites. So we've heavily leaned on the Government Design System, GDS, and that is a group of very intelligent web people at central government level who sit under the gov.uk team, and they look at the accessibility and functionality of how gov.uk sites should look. Now, they spend a lot of time on that research and go into the fine details of how it all should work and function to make sure that it's accessible to the latest WCAG standards, and B, just looks good and functional and fast and all of those extra things. So rather than us going away and designing a website, we've actually just taken that learning and that structure and that design and applied it to our parish council websites. So you're seeing these examples on the right hand side. You've got DVLA sites, and you've got the tax lookup thing, and you've got local authority websites that are starting to use that design system as well. Our websites, this is one of our parish council websites, looks very similar to that. We want you to look like a form of government because you are. So this is a little bit Marmite in that, oh, well, we like a spinny thing here, and we like a carousel image, and we like to have lots of pictures all over the place. And you see some really interesting websites, and I won't say any more than that. So our website is functional, it's clean, it's crisp, it's not got any fluff, as we call it internally. That's really great for us because we have a very clean, thin code base that we can update very easily and update to the latest standards. And it's great for you because you have a clean, fast website. And the more fluff you have on a website, the more fluff you have to maintain. So if we get rid of all of that, it becomes a nice functional website. Now, that is not to say that it is not a personal site or it's an engaging site. So we'll come on to this in a bit, but there's you get to decide the header images and your color scheme and how you want your menu to be arranged. We give you that flexibility, and you can also put village stuff on it, as we call it. So that's local news. It's signposting to the village hall, to local groups and societies. We don't want to strip that away because that is the essence of you as a parish council. So we're using quite a rigid, structured design, but at your level, you have quite a lot of flexibility in the content that you want to publish. So we constantly update those standards to make sure you're always ahead of the game, and that is all included as part of your subscription. So here's a sort of example of what you can and can't do in the site. So you've got things that you can do yourself, things that are possible to do, but we do on your behalf, and things you just can't do. So one of the questions we get a fair bit is, oh, can we sort of jig the homepage around and put a flashy thing here and la la la? We go, no, sorry, you can't do that. We have a fixed, structured homepage. So again, if that's something you're looking for, then we're not for you. But it's there for a reason because it's got everything structured in there and it can be updated easily for all of our customers. And the same with plugins. So behind the scenes, we're using WordPress, but WordPress in its sort of default vanilla form is a bit of a beast. It's got lots of things that you can add onto it. There's lots of ways that you can mess it up, and there's lots of ways that you can approach adding things in. We've decided to remove a lot of that because we know day to day you haven't got the time to be messing around with, oh, there's a plugin that's updated and now it's broken and now this bit doesn't work. That's just silly. That's too much time consumed by multiple parish clerks around the country. So we lock that down. So we carefully curate the plugins and the tools that we put into the system, and we've designed the admin panel so that it only shows you the things that you need. We will add things on as we go in the future. As I said in my previous slide, it'll adapt over time and we'll add things in and we'll do them, but we do it in a quite controlled way. But things like changing menu items, adding your own pages, changing the header image, putting news items in, this is all stuff that you can do yourself. So we've made it easy for you to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this slideshow, you'll be pleased to hear, and go to my web browser. So this is our demo parish council website, Mappington. It's not a real place, but that is a picture of Ilfracombe if you're aware of that in North Devon. We're not going to go through the structure of the site itself today, but we're going to look at the admin panel and look at how it can you can add and edit some content. So the first thing that's probably the most critical thing that you'd do is add a meeting agenda in. So under the menu here, we've got our meetings. And we've got the different meeting types. So you can have as many of these as you like, and normally parishes will have their full council meeting, but then they'll also have committees or groups or other steering groups, neighbourhood plan groups, whatever it is. You can split out all of those meetings so they're nicely structured. Let's go into the full council one. And the way this is a bit messy because it's our demo account and we hack around with it a lot. But the concept here is that each meeting has a page. So rather than creating a page and uploading the minutes and then uploading the agenda and uploading the council documents, we put them all into one page. So let's see this one from back in the 5th of June. You can present the content in one of a few ways. So the first way to do it is, because the meeting has its own page, you could put the content in text form, text, images, whatever you like, into the page. That is the most accessible way of doing it because it's baked into the website itself. It can be searched by Google. It can be screen read easily, and all the text is all formatted because it's structured by the website. But you can also upload a PDF version of the agenda and then the subsequent draft minutes as well. Or you can do both. It's up to you. And we'll show you how to do that in a minute. So that's how the, obviously very interesting agenda there. So that will show you how, that's how a meeting would work. And so if you are then sharing that, you can just share that one link, that one URL, and it will take you to all the content surrounding that meeting. So what we're going to do is, let's just go back to the full council one, and let's go to our upcoming meetings. So again, if I wanted to share, and I think I've got this on the home page actually. Obviously we've got the upcoming meetings section here, so I can see the meetings that are coming up. And I've got a link for upcoming council meetings. This shows me just the ones that are in the future. So all the other ones are in the past, and then the ones that are in the future are presented on here. So what I'm going to do is let's go and create one. So I'm going to go into the admin panel, and I'm going to go and find my password for this. Okay, and I'm going to log in there. So I'm now behind the scenes for this website. And there's a few things I can edit. So along the left-hand panel here, you've got all the different areas that you have the ability to edit. And as you can see, this is much more cut down than if you've ever played with WordPress before. You'll know that there's normally a lot of other stuff in here to distract you. So we've really cut that down to just the functional things. And if I want to add something to the meetings, I'm going to go into meetings, and I can see I've got these two in the future here. I'm going to go and add a new one in. So you can see we're not doing rocket science here. I've gone meetings and I've gone add new meeting. I know all of you guys would be completely comfortable with that. We're not trying to complicate matters. So let's go and put in a council meeting, and it's going to be on, now my sort of fastidiousness is going to kick in. I'm going to make sure that the January meeting is actually on a on a weekend. Okay, so the 6th of January 2025. So that's the meeting title. So I note that I've not put council meeting agenda or minutes or anything like that. This is the page for the meeting, not the agenda, not the minutes. Those will go into this page. So that's a little structural point that's very useful to know. I'm then going to put the date in. Yes, I put it there. That's kind of the title. but I'm going to put it into here because then I'm telling the website when this meeting is. And that's important for it automatically going from an upcoming meeting over into a past meeting. So it does that automatically. You don't have to change that just by setting the date of the actual meeting. Okay. So what I could do now is I could, let's go and set which group this is in. It's a full council meeting, and I'm going to go and publish it. Now, that's not going to be very exciting. So if I just refresh that, I can see that one that's come up now. And it is a blank page. So, okay, it's a good start, but it's a blank page. If I go and put the agenda in, let's create some titles here. I'm going to set that as a header, and that one as a header. And this would be, again, I'm not going to do this particularly detailed, and just update that. Let's just refresh that page. You can see now that's put those headers into it as well. So you could leave it like that. If you had the agenda and you put it as plain text, that's it. That's the information published in the most accessible form. But we know a lot of people like to download this content, download a PDF, say, and read it in their own time, or when they're not connected to the internet or whatever it is. That's absolutely fine. So we also have the ability to add documents to it. So whenever you add a document, you add a little row in here, and you've got an option. You can go and add a file, or you can link to a document. Now, I'm going to show you a few ways of doing that. So first of all, I'm just going to go to my cloud storage. No, I'm not selling cloud storage stuff today, but I'm just going to use it. We're going to create a new folder for this. This is going to be our 2025 January meeting. So I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm going to add a new document using a template. I'm going to use my agenda template. Okay, and so this one is when it's going to be published, and it's going to be at the Village Hall on the, what did I say? 6th of January. And then blah, 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 add all the actual agenda into there. So that's the 6th of Jan. Okay, so that's my document ready there. And I'm going to, let's say you did that in your own Word software or wherever it is. You can then export that as a PDF. So it'll go away and do that. And that will appear, that'll appear on my computer now. So let me go back to here, and I'm going to go and add the file. I'm going to go to my file explorer, and I've got that agenda that I've just created, and just drag it into the media library there. Okay, so I'm just going to call that agenda. Someone's been in my demo account and uploading some funny pictures. That's lovely. Right, I'm going to select that, and you can see now it's listed that agenda as a document. Let's go and update that, and let's go and check the actual page. And there it is, it's appeared there. So if I click on that now, it'll then open up a new tab with that PDF document on there. And what I could have done as well is going from here, taking that, in this tab, I could have put those points in there as well. So everything's matched up now. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. We've got our agenda in text form and we've got it in a PDF form. Some of you may use like cloud storage services like ours or SharePoint or whatever you like. There are, and you don't want to double up. You don't want to upload the document to the website when you've already got it in cloud storage. That's absolutely fine. So let's look at that scenario where if I just go back to our documents, and I'm going to create a sharing link for it. And this one's going to be shared to, I share this one. I do it like that. Create an external one. This is going to be the agenda. Create that link. I've now got a copied link of that original document. So let's go back to my editing here. I'm going to add another row and paste in that link to the document title. So instead of going to upload a file and it saves it into the website, I'm now just referencing it to another source. So this is the agenda, but this is our cloud storage version. Obviously you wouldn't have two in real life, but I'm just doing this as an example. Let's update that. Back to that meeting, you can see I've got that other one there. And if I click on that, it's doing exactly the same thing. It's going off, but instead of it coming back as a PDF, it's coming back as a web page with that information on it. And with this, with our particular cloud storage, you've got options to download it or print it or go and search it a bit more easily. So that's how you would go about creating a meeting. Now, say you've finished all of that, the meeting's come and gone, and you want to upload the draft minutes to it. Instead of going to add a new meeting, you've already got a meeting here, which is that 6th of January one. So you just go into it, go down, add a new row, and then upload the subsequent minutes to it. So they would all sit side by side. You can also upload, district councillors' reports or a finance document or a budget or whatever you like. Any documents that are associated with that meeting that you want to publish can go into here. Okay, I saw a few hands up at that point. Does anyone want to shout out with questions you have on that?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So you mentioned using templates for your attachments.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we don't use attachments for our agenda and minutes, but all of our agenda and minutes all follow the same structure. So is it possible to have a template of a meeting, and then when you create a new meeting, you can just reference that template, which then pastes in all of the content?
That's an interesting thought. At the moment, no. But we've got the ability to change this structure here. So we could put in a templated system. Yeah, I don't see why not. That's going to go on the list. That's a good idea.
Thanks very much.
I can't promise it tomorrow, but it will go onto the list. And yeah, that sounds like a sensible idea. And this is something we're balancing as well at the moment. We appreciate that some parishes are used to uploading a Word document or a PDF or anything like that, but we're just gently presenting the way that you can publish it as a page instead.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Cheers. Okay, so that's a meeting. So, one of the most important things for you to be able to get published onto. Oh, let me just delete that one. Didn't finish my job, did I? Obviously, a very important thing to do, a timely thing to do. So we've tried to make it as easy to use as possible. Another thing you might want to do is, let's just go back to the home page. On the home page, we've got a news section. So this is for obviously news, but it's the most bit of dynamic content. So on the website, you've got your upcoming meetings, which is pretty dynamic, and then you've got news, which is dynamic. So I'm going to show you how to add a new news item in. but you'll probably come to realize that this is actually quite a similar process. So if I go to news articles, add news article, and let's put in that, let's go for bike stolen in local area, be vigilant. So you can put in a summary. You can put in a topic. This topic is useful. If I just show you from the site, each news item can be assigned a topic. So a person visiting your site can then drill down and just see news articles that have the society tag. So let's put that with transport. And let's say the council is, let's go the county has provided guidance on bike safety. Whatever. I'm making this up as I go along, but you get the picture. You can put in the content that you want there. You can also upload documents. So if there's a poster, let's have a look. I do have one on cycle crime here. It's almost like I prepared this. Let's upload that poster. I can see that that's going to be fine, but it's got a lot of text in it. That's not a particularly accessible thing to have, but it's nice as a poster. It's a nice graphical thing. Let's go and find the West Yorkshire cycle safety, cycle and crime prevention. Yeah, there we go. It's the same thing. I'm going to take that link. I'm going to copy that link and put it in here. Go to and then let's put that in as a link. And I'm going to publish that. So how long does that take? A minute or two? That's how easy it is to publish a news article. And there it is. It's the most recent one. And so it comes up onto the featured article there. But I didn't put a picture in there. And I might not always have a good picture. We're not all graphic designers. So if you don't have a picture, you can go to copyright-free images under this Instant Images tab. And I can go and say bike lock. There we go. Let's find a nice generic image. That goes and pulls it from the internet, downloads it into your website, and then it also brings in the alt text, which is good for accessibility, and it also brings in the artist's name. So that's also referencing that document as well. And let's go set featured image and update that. Now, if I refresh our homepage, I've got a much prettier news article there. And that's under the transport tag. And there we go. There's our page. So you can put as little or as much in there as you like. Oh, there's our little poster that pings off into a different tab. So that's how you'd go and add a news article. Appreciate we're going to be running out of time. So I'm going to go in and do another thing that is quite common, and that's maybe adding a new policy document. So we've got in this site, we've got our policies section, and I want to go and add a new policy in here. So we have a concept of a page, which is got content in it. So that could be the actual code of conduct or a standing order or whatever it is. We also have the concept of a signposting page. So a signposting page doesn't have any content itself. It just links off to other pages. So this is really good because it avoids having a monumental long list of subfolders and all sorts of stuff here, which doesn't look very nice. So you can very cleanly go to policies. That goes to a signposting page, which then links off to individual pages. So I'm going to do an email policy. Policy. I say policy anymore. So I'm going to go to Pages and add a new page. You get the idea with this kind of thing. And this is going to be our email code of conduct example. And that's going to sit under our policies. You'll be familiar with this. I'm going to go and add a file, go to my file storage, and I've got one anywhere. I don't have one. Oh, that's really annoying. Let's go to, tell you who does have one. We do. Where is our code of conduct? So I'm just going to copy that code of conduct, obviously look at it and make sure it's suitable for your organization, but that's what I'm going to take. And I'm going to put that into the page body. And I'm going to publish that. Oh, I didn't. There we go. Publish that. If I wanted to, I could. Well, I'll come back to it in a minute. So I've created the email code of conduct. I've put the content in there. I could have uploaded a document if I wanted to. That's now live on your website, but it's not listed anywhere. So if I go to signposting pages and policies, this will be familiar. Look, we've got statutory documents and then those links, general policies, then the links. There we go. That's what we've got here. Statutory policies, links, general policies, links. So this is just how we create that page. So this is going to go into a data policy. That's going to go into a general policy. I'm going to go and select the link, find that page, email code of conduct, and add it. And this is about how we use email. Put in a nice kind of friendly bit of text to explain what that policy is about, and click update. Now if I refresh that page, there we go, that email code of conduct is in here. Conduct is in there now. And if I go into it, there it is. I can make this prettier if I want and go into the code of conduct. Just go and find the page again. And I can set a featured image for that as well. And I don't have anything nice. Just trying to make that page a bit more engaging. Okay, that's a relatively silly one, but we'll go with it anyway. And there we go. We've got our email code of conduct. So just to recap, what have we done there? We wanted to create a new code of conduct page. So we went into pages, add new, created all the content. Then we wanted to reference it on the website to make it easy to find. So we've gone into the signposting page and we've added the link for it. So it now appears here. Now, the final thing I want to show just before we go to a Q&A is, well, just to say, now that I've got that there, if I ever update my email code of conduct, I don't need to create another page. I can just edit that existing one. So it's, once the site is kind of structured, you don't have to go and update things lots and lots, create lots of new pages. It's all there ready for you. The final thing is, this is Flavour of the Month, and this email code of conduct, I want everyone to see as much as possible. But it's hidden within that policies page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into General, and we've got a popular links section. So I'm going to make this a popular link as well. Email code of conduct, and we're going to make this a bit jazzy. Okay, maybe I was playing a bit fast and loose with the word jazzy. And I'm going to go update. So now on my homepage, if I go to search, and I'm going to try and search for something, look, it's already there. I've got my village fete, I've got Miss Bin collections, you know, the popular things that people are asking for. Instead of hiding them away, they are listed on here. And I think those popular links will also come down here as well. So if you're in any news story, it'll also have your popular links and your recent news. And it's in the footer as well. So it's pretty much plastered all over your site just by doing that one update. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to come out of sharing, and I'm going to see you all again, and hopefully there's still some people here. Yes, you're still here. That's good. Right, hopefully that I know that was a bit of a fast run through of the website, but I was just trying to show you the themes of how you do something. So we've tried to make things nice and consistent. You want to go and add a news story in, news, add new. You want to go and add a meeting in, meetings, add new. So we try to make it repeatable and simple for you. Okay, right, let's go into the Q&A. Andy, do you want to cover some of them? Because you've probably been looking at them a bit more than I.
Right. Martin has asked, if best practice is to put minutes and agenda on a web page rather than an attached document, could the web page have a save or print function that produces a PDF from the web page content rather than having to prepare both?
Yes, that's a nice idea. So I've kind of been doing that in some of my demos, but I've been fudging it a bit. I've been saving the page and then printing a PDF from the browser. But you're right, we could do a system where it could update it and then automatically create a PDF. That's certainly something we can put onto our little future roadmap and wish list. It's a good idea.
And then also Martin again, the service looks great. Nice feedback. But in future event, wanting to leave and migrate to a new provider, will you be able to export the WordPress site and content to create a new website?
So yes, we can. Well, yes, we can provide all of the content back. It's a little bit difficult. We wouldn't be able to export the WordPress site itself because it's kind of heavily configured to how we've got it, so it wouldn't really work anywhere else. But yeah, we would certainly be open to sharing as much of the content as we can, so you've got an easy transition away from us. We actually have a lot of fun and games with this, with customers coming to us. So they're coming from lots of different website structures, and a lot of the time we have to just scrape the content from the old website. But we'll be much more open with that. We don't want to lock you into a system.
Then Rona is asking, in the news articles, can you amend the titles such as crime rather than transport?
Okay. No, the topics are fixed at the moment, but and they are applied to all of our website customers. But if there are ones that we want to add in that we get queries for, then yes, we can add those in that become another tag. We try and keep them as the list as short as possible, but yes, something like crime could be one that we put in.
That's it for in the Q&A session. I noticed some people had their hands up.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to call out some. I think Kate, I think you've had your hand up for a while, haven't you?
Just a little one. When you're doing meetings, when you're putting agenda and minutes in that first box, why do you need to put that when you're just adding a file? Why do you need that there?
You don't have to put that. So you don't have to put the text into the page itself. You can just upload the document if you want to. It just gives you the option to have both. So if someone goes to that page, they've got the agenda and they've got the minutes there without having to download a document. It's just a slightly more accessible way of doing it.
My agendas are really long. They're sometimes 3 pages long.
Yeah, that's okay. The page will expand to it. You got a lot to discuss, I know.
Okay, you've lost me in lots of instances, but I will eventually catch up.
Yeah, you've always got our email, haven't you? You know where we are. You know where we are.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. Okay, let's go. Andy, you choose one. Oh, hang on. No, it's in order, isn't it? So it's the order that it's come up on. Okay, so Nick. So I thought that was the number of times you put your hand up. It's not. It's the order that you've done it. That's a lot more sensible.
Yeah.
Hi, Nick.
Hiya. So when adding a news article, obviously we've got flavors of the month. So at the moment it's some pothole fixing.
Yeah.
This month, and then we'll have Christmas tree lighting schedules. Is it possible to pin a news item so it always comes up as the top priority news article, even if we add news articles after that?
Interesting. So not currently, but I have known one of our other customers has asked for that kind of feature before as well. It could be something we look at. We just need to balance it, because if you can have a pinned news article, it could become sort of misused as something that's just there as static all the time. Whereas you kind of want it seasonally pinned, don't you?
Yeah.
But yes, we can certainly take a look at that kind of functionality.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks. Graham.
Oh, hi. Thank you very much for today. It's very interesting. We're not on your system at the moment, but we're looking to transfer to you. We're a small parish council. And one of the things we have on our current website is the means to book the village hall.
Yes.
And it's like a system where you put in how many people you want and all the rest of it, and it gives you an estimate of the cost. Is that sort of thing allowed? That's not a plugin, but is that sort of thing allowed?
We have an approved plugin for that. So yes, we have a tool where you can do village hall bookings, tennis court bookings. Someone who's implemented it quite well is Mickleton Parish Council. They're in Gloucestershire, and they've got Moogers and tennis court. Do you call it? I call them Moogers, whatever you say. Those different things to be booked, and then that can be ordered through. They can take the payments through PayPal or Stripe or anything as well. So, or on the door payments. So yes, that's possible within the site as is today.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay, Anita.
Hello. Yeah. We're looking at possibly making looking at the communications within the parish, and as you know, we've got we are on Parish Online for Stanton St John, and this is something I saw yesterday on another website. It's not Parish Online. It's whereby people, if they want to add their email address, they can do on the website to sign up for
updates to the website.
Updates to be sent. So they put their email address on there, and it's automatically collated on the website. It sounds like that other gentleman mentioned, Graham, that it's a plugin, is it?
So this is on our radar to add into the site. Actually, we've got it in testing already. We just need to do a lot more testing on it before we make it live. But yes, that functionality will hopefully come into the software, and then we'll apply that to all of our customers.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Great. I'm losing track of the numbers, but I think we've got David.
Hi, Chris. Thanks very much. As you know, we've already we're transitioning. Yes. And I mean, what you've just gone through has been very useful to teach you how to do things when you've already effectively the website's almost live. I think it's worth pointing out that when you're transitioning, what we're struggling with is porting everything across from the old website.
Yeah, no, so it's an interesting point. So that's one of the challenges that we have. I'll talk about it in general terms, and we can talk directly about your exact example through chat later on. But yeah, in general terms, one of the challenges that we have is a customer comes to us and says, "Hi, we'd like your new website. Can you port over the content from your old one?" We go, "Yes." We go and have a look at it, and we've got lots of different types of websites, all with lots of different structures for it. And we've not come across one that's the same yet. We've come across ones that are similar because they've been from similar providers, but they're never the same. So that is a big challenge. So what we do is we focus on the meetings, the policies, the finance documents, the things that are critical and legal to your organization that you have to publish. We focus on that. And then as an extra phase, we bring in other sort of news content and other information that we can bring over. but there's no kind of silver bullet for going, right, yeah, there's a button that we hit and all the content comes over. It doesn't work as nicely as that. And David, in your example where we've got a transfer where you've got a website with a gov.uk domain already in there and then going to a new one, you're right, there's going to be a mismatch between it. That doesn't necessarily matter, but in the short term, Google's going to be showing links that potentially might not exist anymore. But we can do some redirection work on that to sort that out. But yeah, we'll get there. The migration is the bit where you kind of go, right, at what point is this a viable website? Is the content viable to switch over? And obviously we're looking at sort of 3 to 5 years worth of minutes and finance documents and things. That's the kind of legal elements for it. But then you've got everything else that makes it the website as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yes, we'll get there.
Thanks.
All right. I've lost track of numbers again, but I think it's John. You are number 1 on there, but I don't know how the numbering's actually up. We've got Hillcroom Parish Council we'll do afterwards as well. Hi, John.
We're just in the process of going out to tender to renew our website, which is currently provided by our county, supported by our county council. Okay. The only question in addition to what you've spoken about is, would the document page for meetings include the ability to hold a link for the video audio stream that we create of our parish meetings?
Yes, absolutely. You could do that. That's great. It's that one page where it's got everything, the agenda, the meetings and subsequent videos, whatever. That's a really good idea. Yeah, absolutely.
And it could do that.
It can do that today. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know your name, but Hillcroom Parish Council.
Yes, thank you. Apologies, I couldn't change the name today. So,
Mr. Hill.
my name is, for the record, my name is Mike. Anyway, I'm both clerk and councillor in our parish, so I cop for the lot really, which is quite interesting. I've really enjoyed this morning, and I think it's almost certainly going to be a way forward for us. We've been hosted, as a previous speaker has said, by the county council, which is in Worcestershire. Now, I think you might have already had this problem, because my observation is, being a county council, obviously very nervous of their superstructure, if you like, how easy is it for you to dive into the county council website to fish out our stuff? Because I can imagine they're going to be a bit precious about it.
Okay, I understand the context of that previous question now. Yeah, so previously county council, well, this has happened for websites and for email, where a county or a district or unitary has hosted a website or content or an email system for you, and they've gone, we've run out of money, we're not going to do that anymore, and has left some councils in the lurch. We would treat it just as if it was any other website. So we'd go to it, we wouldn't need permission to look at it. If it's published information, we can use lots of different tools to pull that information into our new site structure. So yes, we can do that as best we can. Sometimes we have to rely on your archives that you have, and sometimes we have to just look at the site as it is publicly. But it's all doable. And if you'd like, email us for a quote or some more information, send us that link and we can have a quick look as well. There we go.
That's great. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Alison?
Would you automatically look at that website to update our content on your site or not?
So if you've got a website already,
yes,
we wouldn't have a mirrored website of your information.
No.
It's only if you said, right, we want to use your website service instead, and we would then suck up that information, create the new website, and then you can decommission the old one.
Right. Okay.
I appreciate we're out of our hour, but I'm happy to keep going because there's questions are coming. So it's to the point where I start getting hungry. Let's keep going. Verna, I think you're up next.
Hi. My parish council kind of got the idea that their new website that they want to create would be more a village website rather than just the parish council, although it would be a parish council run website. And in that they want to incorporate our village hall, which is a separate charity, but their committee is kind of on the brink of collapse and their website hasn't been updated for ages, and they want to. So basically, the parish council want to host a website, run a website, and the clerk be in charge of that. But it will incorporate the village hall as well as a separate kind of page. Can you do that with the parish online?
Yes, you can have village hall pages, you can have bowls club pages, you can have whatever you like on there. The only things to consider, so this happens, so some parishes decide to say, well, we're going to have a village website and we're going to have a parish council website and separate the two, and makes both sort of cleaner. Some decide to merge it all together. The only thing to consider is the updating process of that. So are you going to be in charge of the village hall content? Because the content that goes on there is going to be sat under a gov.uk domain. So you've got your kind of non-bias, you've got your non-advertising, you've got all those kind of things to consider. But from our point of view, as a service provider, we don't mind. We can just provide guidance, and you can take it or leave it.
I could give access to, somebody on the village hall committee, and they could update their village hall bit.
Correct. Yes.
And then if it all goes completely wrong, then the parish council can take on updating the village hall.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, that's great. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Claire Tag.
Hi. So my question follows on from that, where we have separate sections on our website. But when you said, yes, you could give access to somebody from, say, the Village Hall Committee, would that person be able to update other pages on the website?
Currently, yes. So we are looking at creating more granular access to the site, but it gets into a bit of a minefield. So yes, at the moment, you would have to give them the login and say this is with a sort of purpose limitation, but we are looking at ways that we can restrict that.
Okay, so that's great, but hopefully in the future. So the other question I've got is regarding these other sections of the website. So this is still within the parish council, but for example, we've got some quite big projects, and then we have a whole series of pages that are about those big projects. And I wasn't quite sure from your demo whether, because they wouldn't be news items really, because they would be about a specific project and you couldn't add new topics. So how would you do something like that?
Yeah, for that, let's take something like a neighbourhood plan, which is a bit unwieldy, but is sort of more wide-reaching. I'd probably our default template has a page for a neighbourhood plan, but what you could do is create a neighbourhood plan signposting page, which then has sub pages within it with all the different topics, consultations, whatever it is. Each page can have links to maps as well, so it integrates with our mapping software. So if you're drawing a neighbourhood plan in Parish Online Mapping, you can then plonk that into your website as well. So for more strategic big projects, I'd probably hang everything off a signposting page and then have those sub pages for there. There's no limit on the number of pages you can create.
So I could have a new signposting page that appeared in my top menu?
Top level menu, yeah. You can do
that. Okay, so I think the other question I had, which was you didn't understand what the question was earlier on, which was there's a 30% discount if you're...
Oh, sorry, I know what you mean.
That's what it is. Right. And I want to know the same question. I'm in Cornwall and we are members of the relevant calc. I can't remember which one it's called. And I want to know whether we'd be entitled to the 30% discount.
So off the top of my head, Cornwall aren't at the moment, but go and bend their ear about it and I'm sure we can sort something out.
Right. Okay.
So whenever you ask for a quote, we'll automatically incorporate those discounts into those quotes as well.
Right. Brilliant.
But yes, and if Cornwall do something with us, then we can always adapt it and credit it and we can sort it out so you don't get disadvantaged by it.
Right. The other question I've got was it's about moving the email across. We don't have a .gov domain, we have a .org domain, but we are we're quite organised in our thing. And I can see that moving the website across is not too much of a problem, but moving across the email, and we use our current system for sending mass emails as well. And I'm not sure that you would support all of that.
So yes, we would. So we covered this in previous sessions, so I'll do it very briefly. But we can suck up all of your archive historic emails from your .org system into your gov.uk mailboxes. That's all doable. And if you have your own publishing system like MailChimp or Email Octopus or whatever it is, we can set the settings so that you go as an approved sender from it, so we can make sure that you send stuff properly. Yes, we can do all of that. That's fine.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We are on to Nick, and then Andy. I assume you're going to go through some of the chat ones. Go on, Nick.
Hi there. Hi, Chris. Just a quick question on the main site where it says find information and services, and you've got a list of pages. I'm assuming, so I understand that some of those are fixed, like events and news.
Yes. So sorry.
But when you add new signposting pages, can you amend the order in which they appear? So I've added a new one called Accounts and Audit. I'd like it to appear earlier. At the moment, it's at the bottom.
Yes. So
how you can alter that? Yeah.
Yes. So some of them are fixed. So in the top level menu, some of them are fixed, like the meetings, the news, the councillors and staff.
Yeah.
And then the ones underneath that can be jigged around. We can drop us an email if you want to say what you're trying to do, and we can take a look at it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. We can change the top level menus.
Right.
Thanks, Nick. Andy, do you want to do some from the Q&A?
Yeah, we've just had a couple that are similar.
Okay.
What documentation or manuals are available for this?
Well, we're waiting for Andy to finish writing it. No, I'm joking. So we have a knowledge base. So it's not so much as one big document. It's a series of pages to cover certain topics. So what we're actually going to do from this session is we're going to cut up some of the things I showed today and put them into the knowledge base so you can go back and look at them. So we give you specific step-by-step guides and videos and screenshots and things for doing particular tasks. And that's a better approach for doing it than having just one big wad of documentation. And you also have us behind the scenes. So myself, Andy, Wendy are on support to help with any particular queries, and we'll either signpost you to one of those knowledge base articles so you can go and teach yourself to fish, or we can help you out if there's some kind of urgency to it. So yes, we can do all of that. Okay.
Sorry, one more.
Yes.
How much storage is available?
We don't specify storage. We're kind of on a fair use policy. So we don't really want to disincentivize you from uploading stuff. But equally, if you start uploading, Game of Thrones onto it, then we'll probably drop you a message. But there's no explicit storage limit on the website. If we're talking about email, then we have 5 gigabytes per mailbox for storage, and we have upgrade options for 10 gigabytes and 30 gigabytes as well if you want to do that for email. And yeah, so we just say to try and keep the website as lightweight as possible, and actually that's quite achievable if you're not uploading big sort of 20 megabyte PDFs here and there. Guidance tends to be, not just from us but in general, to keep things as lightweight as possible. If someone's trying to download an agenda and it is 20 megabytes and they're on a very, very rural internet connection, that's not accessible in terms of delivery. So we try and keep those things quite light as well. But yeah, no, we're not going to come knocking on the door if you upload things. And Graham.
Sorry, just a quick one I should have asked before. On the emails, which I think you said were limited to 20.
Yep.
As parish councillors change, do you sort of delete the old one and it begins a new 20, if you know what I mean?
Yes, you don't. Yes, you don't like run out. Yeah, as soon as you've had 20 councillors, that's it. No. Yeah, so it's a rolling cycle. So we would recommend having human-based emails have a license, and then they've got the 5 gigs storage. but you can have as many role-based emails as you like. So if you've got allotments at, or let's take allotments at. So I would not add a license on for you for that. That would be a role-based email, and it would be assigned to one or more individuals. So maybe 2 or 3 people can have access to that allotments mailbox. And that's just a more efficient way of doing it. So you don't have to log into lots of different individual mailboxes. You have your one named mailbox, so chris@mappington.co.uk. And then within there, I could see allotments at, and GDPR, and traffic, and HGVs, and whatever role-based things I wanted as well.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Well, we've almost come full circle, going from Graham first question to the last question. If there's anything else, I'll be happy to answer it. If you think of that question just as we click leave, then drop us an email to support@parish-online.co.uk. That links, that's on our website if you need to go and find it. That'll come through to me, Andy, and Wendy. So if you're an existing customer and you've got further questions, let us know. If you're looking at coming over to us, then we'll be happy to give you a quote and explain how it all works. But just say thank you, and hopefully catch you all soon. And I've seen some names that I'm actually going to see at events in the next few days, so I'll see you in real life as well. But thank you very much, and go and have some lunch if you haven't already. Right, thank you very much. Cheerio.